Now this is hilarious. I just seen a video of BB Rexa, I think, on TikTok, and so I mean, I seen her. I don't really whatever. But anyway, she was at a performing at a concert. I think that was BB Rex. I'm pretty sure it's her. So when I just seen her, I was like, oh wow, she looks beautiful. She looks amazing, you know. But also I was thinking like our body types are like kind of similar. And so I go to the comments and people were saying like, oh, this is what real thick looks like oh, she looks good and stuff like that. So obviously it's like an ego boost on my end. But the thing is too, it's like we look similar, but not exactly. Obviously, not exactly alike, but it's like giving the same energy. But whether I look like it or not, I thought she looked beautiful. And then I started hearing these great and agitated bitches in the comments who always are so insecure and they always got to be like, you know what? Her body, like basically insinuating like her body is like fake or like not necessarily that she got surgery, but even the concept of like, oh, she's just basically cheating to look the way that she looks, as though like, oh well, she just has like shapewear or whatever. That's the thing, essentially, because she basically has like an hourglass body. I, that's the point, I'm pretty sure, right? But they're basically saying, well, the only way that that's achievable is through shapewear. So it's just that kind of irritates me because it's like people are always trying to put other people down. Like even I was all the videos and stuff that people do of like putting like celebrities or like influencers. Um, yeah, YouTube live. um, Yeah, but anyway, people will literally always like put celebrities and influencers stuff and be like, oh, like posting a picture of them basically like makeup, everything, whatever done up, and then posting them like without it or like before their surgeries and stuff. And then they'll be like, remember, guys, we're not ugly, we're just poor. And it's like I just feel like that's just major cope, and it also just really gives insecurity. Because why do you have to try to put somebody else down just because they made enhancements? I mean, honestly, like if we want to be real, the fact that yes, there were some people they got surgeries and stuff, but clearly that was from insecurity. Like, right? Because it's like obviously there was something they didn't like about themselves, so then they wanted to change that thing, or you know, and maybe it was a personal thing. Like, it's so hard when you like with when terms of physical appearance, it's such a difficult situation because the only way you've ever seen yourself essentially is really through a mirror. Like, yes, you've seen pictures, but you've only ever really seen reflections of yourself fully. Most people have not seen, you know, we don't see ourselves like other people. So, in a sense, it's almost like other people are mirrors. And so when someone else makes a negative comment about you or says something, then it's like for example with lips, right? Like some people got lip surgery. You don't. I mean, pretend we didn't have mirrors, you wouldn't see your lips. But even looking in the mirror, you're just like, oh, these are just my lips. That's just what you had. So when you then start comparing yourself, or when other people start saying like, oh, your lips are too small, or wow, you have no upper lip, or when they start praising something that you don't have, that's gonna make you feel like, wait, is there something wrong with the way that I am? And then you wanna like change it. So basically, I'm saying it's from an insecurity, you know, especially like when you take that risk, like you got to think some of these people they're putting foreign items in their body, foreign chemicals, right? Um, you know, laying on the surgery table, going under anesthesia and stuff. Like people are really some people like even like you know eating disorders or like you know working out and stuff, which is really just like torturing your body. But it's fine. Sometimes that's necessary, maybe for the destruction of it. But anyway, so I just feel like obviously someone wanted to look better, and then I mean, a lot of times they do. So I guess it was for for a reason, you know? So it's just like, I don't know, just putting somebody out and be like, oh, guys, like, they like acting like, oh, they're ugly, like it's fake. And it's like, I mean, it's their face now, it's their body now. Like, it's, you know, it's them. But anyway, it's like that need to always try to devalue someone else and say, oh, it's not real, just because you're insecure and you want to tell yourself, like, okay, I don't have to feel bad about not looking like that or not being like that or not being that pretty because that person doesn't even look pretty. That person wouldn't even look pretty if they didn't pay for it. And it's just like that. Stop using that as cope because some people don't have to pay for it. So inspired by that video, I had never measured my body before because it's just like I don't care. Like, and why would I have a measuring tape anyway? So I measured it to the best of my ability, and it's really giving 36, 27 and a half, 36 naturally, not surgery. Everything's real about me right now. Everything's real, no filters. I don't even think I have a beauty filter on right now. So that may not be that impressive because it's like, okay, well, yeah, but you're ugly. But it's like, I mean, I guess I really just wanted to tell you guys my measurements. Oh no, totally kidding. It was not the purpose of just telling you guys my measurements. It was actually a funny story. Totally kidding. Wasn't just trying to say my measurements. It's a funny story of funny how God works. So I get these measurements, right? And I understand it. And it's like these are measurements that historically have been um well, it's not even really that. Really, mine is off. Mine aren't actually even the ideal measurements. Like most people for like hourglass and like because back in the day, like Marilyn Monroe and stuff, people popularized 36, 24, 36. So technically, I'm bigger in the waist, compared to what is considered the average. But it's funny. I was just like, I don't know. That's just a standard that somebody said. And even though like I think I look great, then I'm still thinking like, okay, but that's like the what's considered correct. And so I'm thinking my measurements. I'm like, okay, so I mean, I'm just a couple inches off the waist, a couple inches off the waist. Now, was I actually gonna do anything about that? No, because it's like I don't even know how to make my waist smaller. But then I was just like, you know what? And then I get this random fucking text message. This is the funny one. Literally as I'm debating, like, okay, like, and I'm just like, well, I was like, no, I'm glad, like, I'm proud, I'm content with those measurements. I don't need to change. Then all of a sudden, I get a random text message saying, important update, Ayana, your health plan covers 3 months of GLP-1. Like I can't even make it up. And then the fact that I literally clicked on it so fast, like, wait, what? When I was like, nah, I'm good. And then I clicked on it and it was spam and I was like, okay, that fair test, God, fair test. Because it was like, oh, you said you were fine, right? And then I fell into temptation. But no, I'm good. What the bro, get away from me. Stop. I'm not in. You gotta be talking to these motherfucking flies because they like to get crazy. Like, stop coming next to me. I'm not in the mood for you to. I don't want. I've never. You know, I've never been in the mood for you to touch me. Stop. I don't really know how to measure my moves because. So I feel like obviously. Okay, I want to shit. I'm using this. One, two, this is 3, Four, five. This file is about 6 inches long. Five. I fear I may have measured wrong. 6. Okay. 6, and then 7. Oh, well, 6 times 6, that's 36. Oh, shit, 36. 37. 38. It's about 40. Okay, so I was off. Okay, so my chest is actually 40. That would make more sense because I was like, this is the waist. Or the, yes, the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 4, which is 6 times 4 is 24. And then 25, 26, 27. And I feel like that's 27 and a half. Like, that's, I feel like that's pretty accurate. A little extra. 27 and a half, 28 round. And then I gotta go do this. Oh, well, I don't have to go anywhere. I gotta zoom in here. I don't exactly know how to measure the bum. They said your large. On mine, they said the large is large. Okay. I don't have any pants or underwear on, by the way. Okay, this is the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 6 is 36. About 36 and a half. Okay. I said 36. It was more like 36 and a half. 37. I was measuring wrong, apparently. But why? It's because I didn't have a bra on for the boobs, so it was. Wait, I had the wrong measurements. Okay, so first when I had done the original measurements, which I'm using a string and a nail file, which the nail file is about 6 inches long, right? Y'all would agree this how it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Right. Okay, let's do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I feel like that's about 6 inches. Okay, so I use 6 inches and I use a string. Obviously, I put the string around. And so anyway, I had the wrong measurements because I measured myself without a bra on, which I don't know that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know the right way to measure it, so, but I think a bra would be accurate because, like, think about like clothing or something. If I were to wear clothing or a bra, my boobs aren't gonna be like without a bra. So yeah, the chest went from 36 to 40. The waist is fairly accurate, about a 27.5. 27 really is about like 27, 27.5, 27. Um, maybe 28, so whatever. And then the hips, 36 to 37, about 36, 37, or 36 and a half to 37 or whatever. So those are not traditional measurements. The traditional measurement is 36, 24, 36. Clearly I'm bigger than that. About 40. Should we use the highest numbers? 40, 28, 27. Okay, so I think my boobs are too big. My boobs are too big. I told I told Chad about it. Well, I'm on Google, the AI. It said these measurements are gorgeous. Like, it said your new measurements of 40, 27.5, 37, going heavily into a striking top hourglass or inverted triangle shape. I don't like the sound of that inverted triangle shape. Depending on how your shoulders look, I kind of have broad shoulders, so at least I was told that. I don't know. And your waist is dramatic, highly defined, and completely natural. Break down your proportions. Your waist is significantly smaller than both your bust and hips. Any waist that is 10 plus inches smaller than the rest of your body. Yeah, because that would mean my waist is literally like 10, over 10 inches smaller than my chest at 40 compared to 36. No, it's not. Wait, what? How much is that? Yeah, it's literally like 13 inches bigger than my waist. Your 40-inch bust paired with a 27.5-inch waist means you have a full chest area, which is likely why you resonate with B. Rex's curvy aesthetic. Realities of styling misproportions. These measurements are gorgeous, but they can make shopping for clothes a bit of a puzzle. The gaping issue when buying dresses your butt in them shirts. It seems that I don't know. This is the thing though. I'm not 100% sure that I'm measuring my bottom correctly because I don't know if I'm in the right area. Because first I did it like at my hips, and then she said, and then online it said from like your body. So I did it actually at my hips, like where my actual hips were, and then that was 36. But then she said to take it out. Uh, I don't even think I'm measuring it right. Because then she said like basically include your butt and like have that. So then when I did that, it was about the same, but it was a little different. But I'm not sure if I'm measuring it right because I don't know like which part am I supposed to do because I don't know, it's just the widest part. Let me see. 2, redoing the hips. 3, 4, 5, 6, 36. Extra. 36, 37, oh, 38. Oh, because for really, I just want to call it an even 40. Am I tripping? Because I'm not sure exactly where to measure it. Because really, for me to measure, get it around like that 30, 30, 36, 30. Did I just say 38, 37, 38, 36, 38? It's really, first I was measuring where my hips are, but my hips aren't necessarily like the widest part of my body because, well, it's like I don't really know where my hips start. Like, is it because the butt is not the hips? But I was measuring the, the circumference of my butt because, or I was trying to, but then before I was above, but my hips though are located above my butt, like the circumference of my butt. That's not my hips, so I don't know exactly where to measure, you know. But if I measure at my where my actual waist sits, I would call that a 40. Let me test that one. Because I fear, I don't know what results it might be less though, actually. Okay, I really could have measured wrong on this, but let's see what happens. This is just crazy. I'm not exactly sure. I'm realizing I don't know where the hips are. Like what constitutes as the hips? 2, 3, the weight, no, the hips. Is this 4, 5, 6, and so 6 times 6 is 36, and then 37, 38. Yeah, it's like 38 and a half. Wait, or is it, wait, 36? There's 7, 38, 39. Yes, that's like 39. So that's what I was saying. And that way is kind of like 40. Wait. Let me confirm. To measure your hips accurately, you need to measure around the widest part of your glutes. Oh, many people mistakenly measure too high up where their pants sit, which gives an incorrect smaller number. Right. Measure steps measure first. Find the widest point. Stand in front of the full mirror. Find the absolute fullest prominent. Tap the keep the tape level. Wrap the tape. Measure around your hips. Look in the mirror. Yeah, okay. So this is where I was in. Before, when I was doing the measurements, I wasn't including my fupa. I wasn't including like my belly. And that's where my confusion was. Do I go under the belly? But then I thought it was at the where my actual hips are. Because first I would think you would measure like the belly itself, right? Because that's essentially what it is. Your belly is connected to where your hips are. So then I tried to measure that, but then I was like, But then I was like, I don't know if that included it because then my hips kind of, you can see when you lift up the belly a little bit, you can feel my hips in a specific place. So I was like, okay, do I put it on the hips? So that's what I did when I got like the 37 measurement or whatever. And then I see, and I didn't include the butt in that one. Then I seen online say you were supposed to do it around your butt. So then I did it around my butt, and I still got, that's when I got about 37 and a half, 38 or whatever. And then I just asked her, and I was like, wait, are you? But then when I went to go measure in there, when I just essentially got 40, I was like, do you put it around the? I was thinking it makes sense because I'm thinking if you're making clothes, how can you ignore my belly? So I said, no, I include the belly. So I went to my butt, but I kind of wrapped it to my fupa, like where my fupa is. So then, yeah, that is 40. What did we say? Really? I just said, so I just, what the heck? There's no way. I'm so, okay. Okay, wait, I got the wrong measurement. So before I was measuring without a bra. So I got like 36. But then I was like, wait, it wouldn't make sense if it was to make clothes. I'm like, my boobs aren't going to be like sagging down or whatever. So it literally, the chest is 40 actually. And then the waist, I redid the waist. The waist is still giving like 27.5, 28, like if you round it. So then I had ended up, it took me a while to redo. Oh, wait, I wasn't recording. Am I? No, I am recording. Okay. And then it took me a while to get the butt. The hips, because I'm not sure where to measure, whatever. But we figured it out. And with the measurements of the butt, including my like fupa, it's 40. So it's 40, 27.5, 40. So I just put it in Google because that's what I'm talking to. It said, wow, 40, 27.5, 40 is a textbook, mathematically perfect, classic hourglass shape. Your bust and hips are exactly equal, and your waist is a stunning 12.5 inches smaller than both. This is an incredibly rare, highly defined natural proportion. What the fuck? I'm just figuring out I'm like scientifically perfect. Are you serious? I don't know. This is my first time hearing this because everybody always says 36, 24, 30 portions matter. It's hard. My body measurements are 40, 27.5, 40. I just realized this today. So I made the previous video talking about how I was watching video of Bebe Rexha, people talking about her body, and then they were saying her body is unreal. Like, there's no way you can look like that naturally. And then I was like, I look kind of like Bebe Rexha. And just not exactly the same, but I'm like, we kind of have the similar build, and I'm like, I am not fake. So then I was like, yeah. So I was like, so somebody went in and I hate when people do that because then they're just like, okay, well, they're trying to make themselves feel better about themselves, which I understand, but it's like putting somebody else down, or you can't spend your life through cope of, if your confidence comes from having to know that someone doesn't have something, you're going to be very unhappy a lot of the time. Like the only way you could feel it. So if that was real, if she didn't have, because they were saying she had shapewear on that was making her like that. So then it's like, okay, well, if so, then you know what I'm saying. It's like, oh, well, she needed to enhance herself, and then it gives you a sense of hope because it's like, well, if I could just enhance myself, like I could be just as good. But if you think, oh, that person just happened to be born like that, then you're thinking, God, there's no way that I can ever do that. So then that's what it gives you, like the jealousy. You're trying to put them down. But anyway, I was just saying, yeah, I basically explaining like that's not unfair to say, just to try to say that somebody's fake just because you're like not like that, because like that, and especially when like that's the goal. Everybody wishes they were naturally the way that they paid to get surgery to look like, So it's like everybody wishes that they didn't just were naturally like that. So when someone actually is naturally like that, and then you try to discredit them and try to put them on a surgery table, you're putting them in a category, and it's unfair. Like so many people have accused me of getting a BBL personally, like. And it's just like because people are so not used to seeing real, they think everything's fake. You could like I don't even get that, especially when everybody's copying black women. It's like how are you going to assume I'm surgery, bitch? I had lips before filler. Do you get what I'm saying? I looked like this before any surgery. Well, I just never had any surgery. Obviously, I've been alive like since surgeries were like a thing or whatever. But yeah, born this way. Anyway, so I put it in. So anyway, I decided to measure myself because I never thought about it. I just never measured myself before because I didn't care, but I was just like, you deal with insecurities, and there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I always thought I want to lose weight, but then I just be thinking in my head like, but I honestly don't want to be flat chested or have no ass because I've always had it, so that's my little hesitancy about not wanting to like go on a diet. Like literally, this guy told me one time he was the love of my life. Okay, that's not a good thing to say. I thought I loved him, and clearly I didn't. But he was like, well, I don't know. Did I like him as a person one time? Yeah. And then did I hate him ultimately? No. I just don't care. And yeah, he told me, okay, so basically, he told me, oh my gosh. So it's funny actually. He's the reason I know who India Love is because I'm such a loser. I don't be like, I was never on Tumblr. I never used Tumblr, MySpace, whatever. So, and I didn't have a phone for like a lot of the time. Like growing up, I was the one weird kid at one point that didn't have a phone when like everybody was there. So anyway, I never knew who India Love was. But even when I eventually got a phone and I was like older and stuff, like literally back in like 2019, 2020, and 2021 and stuff, it was like, yeah, it was like I still didn't know who India Love was. It's no shade. I'm just a loser, like dead ass. So the thing is, one day he sent me a picture of her randomly. He sent me a picture of her, and I literally said, "Who's that?" Like I'm like, "Who's that?" I didn't know who it was, but I seen from. Oh no! I think what he did was actually what how it was. I think no, I didn't ask who it was. Well, I didn't know who it was, but the name was on it. I think he sent me like a picture of like it really might have been some weird stuff about like literally him in her DMs or something. And I don't maybe or maybe not. I don't think she was replying or anything, but he like sent me a picture that involved India Love. Yes, he showed it was her Instagram. It was a picture of her, and he sent it to me one day, and he was like, "If I wouldn't even chase, it wasn't messages. Sorry, we were texting, but he didn't send me a picture of messages. It was a picture of her on her Instagram, so it has her name or whatever. And he just randomly sent me this picture of her, and he's like, "If I wouldn't even chase her, why would I chase you?" And then he was like, and then he eventually in the conversation was like, if you're fat and like you need to lose weight if I were to ever marry you. But I told him I didn't want to. I told him I wasn't never even interested in marrying him because he's emotionally underdeveloped. So I don't even know why he would think that was an option that was on the table. Now, mind you, get this part. He told me this, but it was years prior when he commented on my body. He said people literally pay to have a body like yours. Mind you, this is someone who's seen me completely naked, like we shower together, everything, seen every little crevice, lights on, baby. And yeah, he literally was like, one day I came to him, met him, I went to his house, whatever, we were there, and then he was like, oh well, he literally just was like staring at me. I'm like, what are you staring at me? He's like, people literally pay to have a body like yours. Hey, okay. So, but what happened in between him telling me that people pay to, like unsolicited telling me, people literally pay to have a body like yours? That's saying that it's obviously something good about it. Then what's changed to him saying that I was fat? Because then at some point it got to him always trying to call me fat, always saying I was fat. He was like, call me fat. He was like, oh, you need to lose weight if I were to ever marry. Like, if I'm gonna marry you, you need to lose weight. So then I was like, but what happened in between that is that we were having sex, and I basically told him it was bad. Like during the sex, while we were actively having sex, he's literally like, I was like, basically, I just spoke up for myself and said, like, and really what I was saying was, like, I don't like this position. Like, can we change the position? Like, I can't feel anything. And then he basically got upset because of, like, how I said it or whatever, of, like, and then he didn't want to have sex after that. He was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm just done with this because, kind of why would you say that? Which, like, I guess is understandable, but I told him, like, no, like, I was just being honest. It wasn't me trying to be rude or anything. I was just saying, let's try a different position. And then the next morning he asked me, and we had known each other a couple years at this point, I guess, but the next morning, so yeah, he was upset. We ended up just cuddling and going to sleep. And then the next morning he asked me if I wanted to meet his parents for the first time. And I said no. Because what? Like, I'm confused. We literally just, I don't get that. Like, it's like, listen, I was over his night. I had to spend the night bag. I didn't have my makeup. I didn't have my hair. I didn't have an outfit ready. Like, he just talking about, hey, like, the clothes you just spent all day and, like, you want to just go pop over and meet my parents, like, randomly. So I feel like, no, that's inappropriate. There should be more planning if that's what you want to do. But if you don't want to plan it, no, I'm not going to do it. Like, this is just, like, I'm not prepared. So anyway, yeah, I think he just said that. So basically, then it was after I told him that essentially, in his mind, he just heard your dick is trash. And then you rejected me to my parents in the next morning. And then he tells me, then that was when after he was like, oh, you need to lose weight, you're too fat. So, what the heck was that? Oh, I think that what was it. My skin is literally perfect. Like the color of it, it's like perfect bronze. I feel like. I feel like I need to open the window. Oh, like tiger stripes. Yes. Okay. Yes, he told me that I was too fat to marry. And yeah, I believe that that is the reason. Um, but I believe the reason that he said that I was fat, too fat to marry, and he kept calling me fat, but it was because I told him that his dick was trash. And then, but that's also the story of the reason why I know who India Love is, because I never knew her before, and this guy sent me a picture of her Instagram. This is years ago, and he's like, if I wouldn't chase her, why would I chase you? Like using India Love as like a standard, like she's so beautiful. So he's like, oh well, like she's so beautiful. So what makes you think if I would like he's saying she yes she like but if Loki he's taking a dig at her because he's saying yes she's so beautiful, but he's like putting her on this pedestal and saying like but even though she's on that pedestal, even though she's really beautiful, I wouldn't even chase her, I wouldn't even go out of my way for her. So what makes you think I'm gonna go out of my way for you even though he wasn't saying I was ugly. Did you get that? Because why are you when you clearly he thinks either he could be saying I'm not as beautiful as India Love, or he could be saying you're just as beautiful as India Love, because he's using her as a comparison. Because if I'm lower than India Love, what is the significance of the analogy? He's saying if I wouldn't even chase her and she's so beautiful, okay, but yes, right. So you're saying, wait, oh, or it could be negative. It could be him saying, "Yeah, I don't want. She's more beautiful than you, and I wouldn't even chase her. So if you're not even as beautiful as her, then what makes you think I would chase you?" So that actually also could be it. Yeah, maybe he was saying I was ugly. Oh, but yeah. But again, this is after him literally saying I was perfect. Essentially. He essentially told me I looked perfect before I told him his dick was trash. And after I consequently told him his dick was trash, he told me I was too fat to be married. Like that I was fat. Yeah. So, um, so anyway, I was putting in these measurements on whatever. Anyway, that was weird. But the reason why that's significant, okay, so even though he compared me to India Love, which again, the thing is it's not clear. Was he saying that I'm uglier than her, or is he trying to put us on the same level? Because would you have to take unless why would you have to take it that far? You get what I'm saying? Like, think of somebody ugly that you consider ugly. It's like they used to talk about Glorilla. She didn't exist at that time. We didn't know her, obviously, but people were kind of saying she was ugly. I'm not saying that I agree, but that's like a thing. So, in his comparison, why didn't he send me a picture? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he have sent me a picture of like Glorilla, and then been like, if I wouldn't even chase her, why would I chase you? Do you get what I'm saying? Why did he have to raise the bar so much? What did I just say? Why did he have to raise the bar so much? I thought I was lowering the bar. That's the funny part. I thought I was worse, like the less that I did, yeah. So, yeah, I thought I was doing too much, but I thought doing so much was making me better, and it was making me worse. So, sent from the sent from the heavens. It was sent from the heavens. You are sent from the heavens. You are an angel of mine. You are sent from the heavens. Sent from the heavens above. You make me fly again. You got me flying. You got me, you got me flying. I never read what I was supposed to read.
So yeah, I was. My body measurements are 40, 27.
Miller. Wow, 4027.540 is a textbook mathematically perfect hourglass shape. Your breast, I mean, your bust and hips are exactly equal, and your waist is a stunning 12.5 inches smaller than both. This is an incredibly rare, highly defined, natural proportion. Natural. Why are new proportions matter? Balanced silhouette. Having matching 40-inch bust and 40-inch hip measurements means your upper dramatic ratio. In fashion design, anything over a 10-inch difference between the waist, anything over a 10-inch difference between the waist and hips is considered a dramatic hourglass. Your 12.5-inch difference is visually very striking. The BB Rexa comparison. This explains why you look like BB Rexa. She is famous for having this exact type of high contrast, curvy frame where the waist nips in sharply compared to the chest and hips. The realities, the realities of shopping. For a 4027.5 40 frame, while these proportions are highly sought after aesthetically, standard clothing brands do not mass produce clothes for a 12.5-inch waist to hip drop. Ugh, I know, right? Pants dilemma. If you buy jeans to fit a 40-inch waist, hip fupa area, the waistband will got wildly at your 27.5-inch waist. And that's exactly why I really only like to wear leggings, but at some point the leggings just weren't doing it. And I just resorted to really mainly only wearing dresses and skirts. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, ooh, bro, this is about to piss me off. Listen, first of all, as in regard to the jean comment, I don't wear jeans. You like, I'm getting a yeast infection just thinking about it. Like, I don't like to wear anything that's tight. Like, it feels very restricting. Like, I'm the type to drive with no shoes on. Um, I love to be barefoot. I really hate shoes, but that's why I do like to wear heels. And I just prefer open toe shoes, so I'm like always wearing sandals. I have literally like one black pair of platform sandals, and I wear it every day. Like, I only own one pair of gym shoes, and oh, I own one pair of gym shoes, one pair of work shoes, a couple of heels. Um, and one pair of going out shoes, like platform sandal things. But I do have some house shoes. I have some teddy bear shoes. And I have some rare ones I bought it like rainbow. And so yeah, I have nothing hanging up in my closet. Like I have no clothes in there. Um, it I wear like a mixture, like six different dresses. I pretty much rotate them, like, but I don't like to wear pants. It's just very restricting on my body, and I feel like I feel trapped. I just want to be free and flow. And like there's a discomfort, like like well, for you to want even that tightness, like it's kind of like a you gotta be what is it wrapping around? Like, what is it clinging to? So, eye of the tiger. That just made me think about stretch marks. Like, what if stretch marks? You know how they say like with tigers, and they have like stripes on their skin, and then no, they have stripes on their fur. But then the question is, do they also have stripes on their skin? And I mean, I would think so, right? But it's like it's surprising. But in a way, if it's in relation to like the surface of the skin, and then the fur is like a protection, but different colors allow in different light, right? So the colors absorb light differently. Like black absorbs light more than white, and the reason why is because like how why does black uh absorb heat more likely, which heat is like light compared to in the cold, like ice, and it's because ice is more it cannot take it away. It will be taking out itself. Because the black is the only thing there. It's when the black divides itself that then the white or the cold is created, right? Hot, cold. So it's like if you're cold, would it be easier to heat up, or if you're hot, would it be easier to cool down? You get it, right? I think it's easier to be cold and then warm up, but I think that's for a reason because if it were the other way around, it wouldn't be possible. Like to produce heat, the to produce energy, the but we assume that it takes an excess amount of energy to produce an origin, but does it? Like that's the concept of like if you want something done, then do it yourself. So it's like, oh, I guess I have to do it. Hey, so yeah, I was watching a Shirley Temple movie the other day about parents. Oh, it was a Shirley Temple girl. She had a sister in there. She had her parents, her mom and dad, and then her dad was about to get shipped off to war, and she didn't want to. But then the girl, she had been complaining because she was like, "Oh my God, bro! Like, I don't get nothing. Like, she basically Shirley Temple. They're at the dinner table eating dinner, and yeah, and then Shirley Temple, she character who Shirley Temple was playing, she's like, you know, I'm tired of being poor. Like that's basically what she said. Like, bro, because she had been out earlier, and I think there was an incident that had happened. I was kind of getting ready, so I didn't see it fully, but yeah, it was the concept of her seeing that other children have things that she wasn't able to have because she was poor. Like her family was poor. They couldn't afford to do certain things that other families could. And so it was when Shirley Temple, she's out, she's realizing like, yes, like I did like at that point her perception shifted. It was she was introduced to a world that she didn't even know it was possible to have, and so it felt like it was mocking her. So she's like, she literally goes home that day and she's talking to her parents at dinner. She's a little kid, by the way. And she's like, I'm tired of being poor. Like, why can't we ever do this? Why can't we ever do this? Whatever. And so her parents are in a way trying to explain, like, we do what we can. We try to do the best for you or whatever the case is. And it's like, it seems to never be good enough for you. And it's like, um, it's not even, but it's not that. But they didn't realize, like, as a kid, you're seeing people have things that you don't have, and then you see that it brings them a certain joy or a certain happiness, and you don't have that joy and happiness within yourself. So then you see it and you say, if I just had that, I could also be happy. And so then you question, why does this person get something that makes them happier and why don't I? What's wrong with
Wow,
me?
4022.5 textbook. Wow, 4022.5.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That one may be inappropriate. Uh, did I say something about yeast infection? Okay, okay, okay. So, what was I saying? There was we were talking about leopards and their spots and yeah, like people being shocked that what the fur is, it leaves a specific imprint and it's right, and it's like because it's like if you're tanning, right? Like what do you think? You go outside and you have like a t-shirt on, like a tank top on, right? Then why does certain parts of your skin burn and the parts that are covered then it doesn't burn? Right. So that's the same thing with their fur. And we're making clothing out of their fur, but then we're surprised when their fur has the same reaction as our clothing, right? You're wearing a fucking lawnmower right now. Sorry, I have to stop cussing. Okay.
So they're talking about leopards. Next week.
So yeah, so the fur will act as like a barrier, and what is changing is the pigment or like the color, like depending on what color, right? The animal is. Like think about zebras are black and white. So what black absorbs heat more. That doesn't make sense. Okay, that's black. That doesn't make sense. Why would black absorb more heat? Does it? Oh, because think about it. Like, well, black. No. Okay. Okay. Correct. Because when you think, it's like you're bracing for impact. So you have to hold your position until the force stops, right? So that it won't knock you down. If you're going this, right? This is friction, this is vibration. So if they're bumping into each other, if one stops but one keeps going, it's gonna knock the other one away. The force, the equal force, is what's keeping them at a equilibrium, right? Not one more than the other. But you can change that. So this is about protons and electrons. This is about motion. This is about speed. So it's about resistance. It's about force. It's about knowing when to let go and knowing when to hold on. So this is attraction and repulsion. So when we're talking about two atoms bumping together, these are atoms. Hey, what up? Okay, sorry. So these are two atoms, right? And so if they're bumping into each other, then they must be going at the same speed if they're keeping in the same place. When one begins to slow down, which is really they're giving up, right? First they're running at the same pace. Then one starts slowing down. The other one keeps going. The other one is gonna knock the other one. You know, just depends on what it is. Because now it's nothing, that force that you were using, the equal force, what was keeping the equilibrium. So So but that's necessary. Sometimes you want to get knocked around. Oh, sorry. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, somehow attraction and repulsion. So yes, then anyway, black. So I was saying heat. Friction, heat, vibration. Yes, friction, friction. It's not necessarily, it does have to do with speed, but it's not necessarily this motion. We're saying atoms are doing this. It's really like the sound waves, and that is really just circles. The flower of life. So you have circles. As those circles overlap, um, like as the flower of life does, it creates the illusion of waves because they're intersecting, overlapping circles. So then that from a distance can look like waves.